Well, today my buddy Don from the coast is coming over, and we're going to do a very unique hike. Well, it's kind of suburban. We're going to go up to Bull Mountain, and we're going to try and peak bag Bull Mountain. We're going to go up the Ascension Trail, and it's kind of nostalgic for me because back in the day, my granddad and great-granddad and my uncles used to farm up there on Bull Mountain, and suburbia has kind of taken over. But they did save this one drainage from development, and you can hike up the Ascension Trail, and from there, kind of peak bag Bull Mountain. So that's the plan, and it should be fun, and should be an adventure. So come on along and have some fun with us. It's a kind of unusual place for, parking for a hike in the woods, but it'll make sense. So here's the trailhead up the Ascension Trail. And see, it gets woodsy really quick. This is just a remnant of what used to be. This whole mountain was like this. A lot of it was like this when I was a kid. It was all woods. And anyway, up the hill we go. Hopefully to peak bag Bull Mountain. Well, here's some words of wisdom to live by. So this forest here is mostly Doug fir and big leaf maple and lots of understory, and it's a nice trail. So I can't help it. I enjoy the Ascension Trail. So it looks really woodsy, and it's a beautiful thing, but then you look up and there you see suburbia creeping in right up to the edge of the forest. Up, up, up we go. A nice looking cedar, western red. They're kind of struggling because a lot of them on this side of the mountains are not getting enough moisture, and they're getting a root fungus, and they are unfortunately perishing. But this one looks pretty healthy. All right, so we're gonna emerge from the woods and then hit suburbia here and do a little urban suburban walking and see if we can find the peak, maybe even the benchmark of Bull Mountain. So we're hiking through suburbia right now up on Mistletoe, and we're gonna make a ride on Benchview here in a second. Hey Don, you have any comment about hiking in suburbia?
This trail, they could have done a better job of clearing the brush in the trail.
That is true. Be careful. Those Japanese maples will reach out and grab you, man.
And in the mud,
Well, that too. I never thought about the mud here. So I'll do my David Attenborough. Check out the native fauna here along this well-groomed trail. Quite. So this is High Tor Drive, and High Tor Drive will take us to the summit, the peak of Bull Mountain. So here we go. We're going to do our summit assault here. We should be there in just how do you measure this? You measure it in blocks? It's just a few blocks, I guess. So I'm about to step onto the peak here of Bull Mountain. And we did this hike, I guess, so you don't have to, I guess. But if you want to, the Ascension Trail is actually rather nice. You can see at one time the views here must have been magnificent. The views are kind of suburbanized. Any comments about your achievement here, Don?
It was tough, and that last ascent up that cliff face was brutal.
And it was raining.
True. It was really raining.
There you go. So we're gonna head back to the Ascension Trail and back to the rig, and then back to my farm, I suppose. And off in the distance here, you can see the West Hills. It's kind of pretty. All right, we're back on the Ascension Trail and on our way back to the rig, and on the way back to the farm. So this is a nostalgic place for me. I can visualize my grandpa and my great-grandpa and my uncles as I hike along here. And they're a little distant from right here. They were over more towards Beef Bend, and I can visualize what this mountain used to be like when I was a kid. So we're almost back to the car, and we did about 4 miles and about 400 feet of elevation gain. And I got to suffer a bad case of nostalgia. So it was fun, and I'm glad my friend Don was, kind enough to indulge me on this little hike in the rain.